So, all right, Doreen, I hope you got something strong in that cup. Right, Diana's here as well. Diana De Fabregas is here, so the gang's all here. We get going. Hi, Linda. Hi, Stefan. Hi, Matt and Michelle. All of you. It's nice to see you all. Right, so I did a thing a while back, and it was based on kind of building your perfect house. And it started with, imagine you've got a plot of land, and it's been there for thousands of years. And then you've bought this plot of land and you're going to build your perfect house on it. And so the first thing we have to do is clear the land. And that's, all the rocks and the carrier bags that are blown in there and trunks that have been growing there. We're going to clear that land. And that for me is like clearing out all of the rubbish from your past, all of your limiting beliefs, your negative thoughts, any limitations that have been placed on us throughout our lives, any hurt, pain, sadness that's been created because we don't need it anymore. So we can clear that bit of land so we can then build our perfect house on. And then the next thing you do is we dig the foundations, don't we? And dig those foundations and put the foundations in. And I think for me, the foundations are things like self love, self confidence, self belief. So we've got something strong to build on. And then the walls are like the things that protect us, the things that people around us, people who believe in us, things like that. So getting that understanding and getting a picture of who those people are who are on our side that are going to be there when we've got $2, when we've got $2 million. Now, a handful of people are there for us no matter what. And then we look at doing the things inside, the things that bring us joy, the decorations, the artwork, all those kind of things that give us joy. So we end up with that perfect house that we want or the perfect life that we want. So I'm going to run you through that today. We're going to let go today of, if you have any left, because I've been working on this for weeks, any limitation, any limiting beliefs you might have, because that's what they are, aren't they? They're just limiting beliefs, and most of them aren't ours. How many times have we been together and I've said to you all that at the core of your being, you're still that month-old baby who just wanted to be held and loved, fed, that had no side to it, had no agenda, just wanted to be loved. And that's who we are still at the core of our being, that just pure energy, pure intelligence, light and love. To get back to that point, because that is who you are, who we are at the core of our being. If before the world gets to us and we learn that there are people out there that aren't kind, there are people out there that don't have our best interests at heart, and we have to build up those walls around us to try and protect us against it. But at the core of our being, we're still that person. And it's just about how to do that. But I think it's really, and I know all of you've got them, is those few people in your life, as I said a moment ago, that are there, whether you've got $2, whether you've got $2 million, with all your mistakes, they still love you. They still, they might laugh at you, take the mickey out of you, but at least they're there to support you in those things. So I think today, if it's okay with you, it's just getting a feel for what's important. Let go of today, and I want you to do it today because it's possible to let go of any of your limitations, see them for what they are, and then at some point, and we're going to do this over the next couple of weeks with Nick anyway, but start thinking about what really is going to bring you joy, what's going to serve you. You know, think about what's there when, if you imagine all of your material stuff's gone, if all your material things were taken away, what would be left? Then you will get down to what's truly important. Who will be left if all your material stuff's gone? Then we get down to those people, that handful of people, if we're lucky. We've got a handful of people in our lives who will just be there no matter what. So that's what I want you to get to. So I'm going to take you into a beautiful state of trance. You can lose yourself in it. And you can, as I always say, you can listen to me if you want, but I don't mean this rudely. I'm not interested in your conscious mind. Your unconscious mind will hear everything I've got to say. It will take from it what's needed for you to free yourself. And I was just going to say that. Sounds great, doesn't it? To free yourself, to be yourself. Go on, that's a great catchphrase. Free yourself to be yourself so you can be your true intrinsic self. Okay? Is that all right with everybody? Yeah. You know, we have, when we come into this world, as I was saying a moment ago, we're kind of a blank page. And we have those instincts we're born with, to suckle, to hold on, you know, to breathe, all those kind of the basic instincts we're born with. But everything else is learned. And that goes for all of our fears and anxieties as well. They're learned. And when we learn things, no matter whether it's reading or it's writing or it's riding a bike or whether it's speaking a different language, when we've learnt it to the point where it becomes an unconscious ability or a skill, something we can do without thinking, it's as if we create a part of us that's then running that process for us. And it enables us to function at the level we function as human beings, which is pretty incredible, really, when you think about it. You know, think about just imagine the first time someone could write something on a piece of paper over here and send it to someone a mile away who had the same understanding, and they could read that and understand what that person a mile away was thinking. I mean, how incredible is that? You know, I was listening to something the other day, and I think it was they found some skeletons from, I think it was 21,000, maybe longer, 31,000 years ago. And they said that was the first signs of civilization. And the reason they say that is because one of these skeletons had a broken limb and it had been set and healed. And up until then, if you broke a leg, you were dead. You know, you couldn't get your own food. You couldn't protect yourself from wild animals. You know, if you broke any kind of limb, you were as good as dead. And finding this skeleton, someone had to sit with that person. They had to feed that person, take care of that person. And that was kind of the first signs of civilization, that someone cared enough to stay and help. And for me, that was kind of a major thing to understand. It's what makes us civilized. It's not the money, it's not the houses, it's not any of the things, the material stuff we've got, which are brilliant, aren't they? You know, the things we have that give us comfort and luxury and stuff like that. But that's not what makes us civilized. What makes us civilized is caring for someone outside of ourselves, willing to spend the time with somebody outside of ourselves and give of ourselves. You know, maybe even put ourselves in danger, as I'm sure that person way back then, when they had to sit with that person with the broken leg, had to do. So think about the things that are really important to us. I'm not saying that having a nice house, having a nice car, and having nice clothes, having an electric blanket to sit on when you Zoom call with are not nice things to have. They are. But, you know, it's not what makes us who we are. It's not what makes us human. So, you know, let's get into this tonight. Start to think, and I keep saying it because I love this group, and most of us here, you know, every week, and there is a connection that goes beyond, you know, the connection we have just as a group on Zoom. And so I want you to feel into that. It's what makes us human, sharing with each other. And then when you're in that beautiful trance, as I was saying, when we learn something to that point, it's as if we create a part of us that's then doing that job for us. Just as now, Gwyn, you know, if she could speak to someone in Spanish and instantly, she has a part of her that can speak Spanish fluently. And I'm sure there are other people, you know, Jasmine, she's got at least, I don't know how many languages, but I know she can speak to me in English pretty, you
Yeah,
know,
that,
without any accent. In fact, she speaks better English than I do, and she can switch that on. But now she's learnt, now she can speak English. It's impossible to not speak English. It's impossible to not understand English. But that goes for everything we learn. And it's also when we learn things like anxiety and fear and irrational thoughts. They're learned behaviors. But like, as I said, with everything else, once it's learned, it's very difficult to turn off consciously. We can put our conscious mind on it, but that piece of programming is just running. So when we do this work tonight, strange as it may seem, I'm going to speak directly to the part of you that runs that protective mechanism that keeps you safe and well, that's scanning the environment for anything that might hurt you. And it does a brilliant job, but generally it's working in our favor. Sometimes, as I said, because we're always making decisions as we're growing up. At any age, we're making decisions, but when you're 4, you're 7, you're 12, 13 even, we don't have all the information. So we're not always making the best decision. So we learn things. And sometimes as we develop and as we evolve, those learned behaviors become redundant. They're no longer serving us, but we're still a piece of programming that's running it. So when we get into this, I want you, because you're all different and we will have different ideas of how you want to feel at the end of this session. But I want you to think about anything that's holding you back that you know in your heart you don't need, but it's still holding you back. And I'm going to speak to that part of you that runs that protective behavior. I'll ask it to explain what it's doing. And it's obvious it's trying to protect you. I'm going to ask the question anyway. Then I'm going to ask you out of your creative minds, because you might, more than most people, because you're here, have incredible creative minds. And ask that creative mind to run, flow, work, and come up with lots of new choices, ways of keeping you and the people you love safe, well, and protected, but at the same time allowing you complete and utter freedom from any of the irrational fears, anxieties, doubts that were placed on you that you learned throughout your life. Can you imagine, because it's going to happen in the next few minutes, can you imagine being unable to worry about those things that have been on your mind, to just be free of it, to be unable to worry about things that you know in your heart are irrational thoughts? You know, to think about your thoughts. Now, who is it that's aware of your thoughts? Who is it that's aware of the person that's aware of your thoughts? Just think about that. When you have a thought and you're aware of that thought. And that's who we're going to be talking to when we're in hypnosis. That the essence of who you are. So I won't ramble anymore, but I want you to think about how you want to feel. And maybe think of something you want to achieve in the next few weeks, months, throughout 2025. It doesn't have to be something massive. It doesn't have to be something material. It might just be a way you want to feel, or a way you want to behave, you know, how you want to move into this next few weeks and months. So think about that. Know that you have a right to be happy. I think it's our birthright to be happy. And understand that when we let go of all of those limitations, of course you can. And I want it for you. And I know you want it for yourselves. So if you're ready to do this, if there's nothing else, Nick, you okay with this? Nick, you all right? Okay. Well, are there any questions before we get into this? Okay, good. Any questions before we get into this? Are you shaking your head, blind? Because I know you're just a trance junkie. You can't wait to go into hypnosis. So you don't want to ask any questions. Hi, Sarah. Great to see you. All right. So I don't know if you've just joined us, Sarah, but what we're going to do, I'm going to take you into a beautiful space of trance. I want you to just think about every behavior, every fear that no longer serves you, and we're going to let it go. And think about how you want to be in 2025, and just use this space today to just reset, you know, think about how we want to be, and then I'm going to help you get there, okay? Right, so if you're ready to go, what I want you to do is get comfortable, make sure you're in a safe place. And no matter how relaxed your body and mind become, the chair will support you. Okay. Ready, Diana? Got your pillars plumped up? Good. Okay. Get yourself comfortable. And when you're ready, just take that breath in. That's right. Take a breath in, hold it. You know, sometimes when you've just had a long day and you just sigh at the end of the day and let go of all that tension, I want you to, when you breathe out, just breathe out like you're sighing, like just breathe that breath out and let go of any tension in your body and mind. Let's do it again. Just take a breath in. Imagine you're breathing in that feeling of love. And as you breathe out, just breathe out anything that no longer serves you. That's right. And remember those other experiences of hypnosis you've had with me and how it's felt to sit, listen to my voice speaking to you, remembering the words and the sounds and how it felt as you drifted into that beautiful space. Just for a while, nobody wants anything. No one expects anything. And there is nothing for you to do but to listen to my voice and drift into that space. Because with the eyes closed, you can continue to relax. At times, you may be more aware of some things than you were before. The sound of my voice, the comfort of the chair, the temperature in the room, certain sensations, the beating of your heart, and the thoughts and images that drift into the mind automatically. Because with the eyes closed, it becomes easier to become more and more aware of a variety of things that otherwise may go overlooked or ignored. Thoughts, feelings, sensations, the alteration of awareness as the mind begins that gradual letting go. Letting go even of the effort it takes to make the effort that it might take to tell the exact position of arms, hands, fingers, even the effort it takes to be aware of which leg seems to relax more quickly or completely than the other may seem to be too much effort to bother making. But it takes time to experience that letting go. Your own time in your own way. As you continue to learn even more than before about your abilities, your capacities to learn as you relax. And the mind drifts down toward a place of quietness. A place of peaceful inner awareness. A place that almost seems to give off signals that directs awareness down toward it, into it, more and more comfortably, more and more effortlessly, more and more completely and deeply than before. Get a sense of that happening automatically. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that. Every word I say takes you deeper and deeper into that feeling. Or even the effort it takes to be aware of the sound of my voice or the meaning of my words may almost seem to be too much effort to bother making. It's so much easier simply to relax, enjoy that letting go, allowing events to occur in your own time, in your own way, are drifting down. Deeper, deeper, deeper down now. Get a sense of that happening. Just drifting down through space and time. Down toward a place of total bliss. And nobody wants anything. No one expects anything. There's nothing for you to do but to enjoy that freedom. 10, 20, 100 times deeper now. And as you drift in that space, my voice, my words will drift with you to become a part of your experience now. And just when you think you've reached the ultimate space of profound hypnosis and trance and bliss, my voice, my words will take you 10 times deeper. Get a sense of that happening automatically. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that. Every word I say doubles that feeling. Everything I say now is your reality. Every suggestion I give you, your mind and body will act upon. At a molecular, cellular, neurological level, it's now your reality. You have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. And that unconscious mind, the back of the mind, that instinctive, intuitive part of your being that's monitoring your heartbeat, that beats the heart, that breathes the breath, that runs that automatic healing ability, that's keeping you safe and well, can continue to hear, understand, respond to those things I might say without the need for you to do anything at all. It's so much easier for the conscious mind simply to relax and enjoy that letting go. That's right. Letting go even of the effort it takes to make the effort that it might take to tell the exact position of arms, legs, or the entire body now that seems to drift through time and space. That wonderful free-floating place of effortless relaxation and letting go. Allowing events to occur in their own time, in their own way, as you drift as a mind. And the mind drifts without boundaries, without borders, without limits. Allow yourself the pleasure. Get a sense of yourself out there. It's 2:25. We're moving into that new year and you're creating the life that you want, the health that you want, the happiness that you want, the joy that you want. Let go of every limiting belief that ever held you back. Imagine they're gone and there's nothing you can do about that. You're free of every limitation. You're free to be and see yourself there, creating that life you want. And notice the way you move and the way you breathe. Step into that body, feel into it, get a sense of what it feels like. See what you'd see, hear what you'd hear, feel what you feel. Step into that body, get a sense of that feeling of creating the life you truly want. And ask the question, how much fun is this? How much fun can you make it? How important is it for you? Get a sense of it now, because now you know how good you're going to feel. Everything about your nature, your mind, your body is inclined toward making it happen. And you want that life. You want that joy. You want that health. And the unconscious mind can allow those changes to occur. at a molecular, cellular, neurological level, while the conscious mind drifts off someplace else entirely now. That's right. In your own time, in your own way, aware of events that occur along the way, as the unconscious mind utilizes that opportunity to alter your awareness at a molecular cellular level, while the conscious mind drifts off someplace else entirely now. And as you drift in that space, unaware of yourself as a physical being, but totally aware of yourself as a mind, notice that the mind is infinite. There are no limits. Get a sense of that now, that feeling of freedom, free of all earthly ties, an understanding you are the most incredible creation, but you are not your body. You are not even your name, because that was given to you. And that whatever you thought you were, you are so much more than that. How incredible are you? And notice as you drift in that space, free of all earthly ties, notice that the essence of who you are is just pure energy, pure intelligence, light and love. That is who you are. Get a sense of that now. Everything that's not that was learned. An understanding that you can and you will. Let go of the past. Let go of every limiting belief that no longer serves you. And as you drift in that space, you can use your unconscious mind as a resource that you can learn from and really have an experience, one that's satisfactory to you. All that's needed to build a good rapport with the unconscious is to have a line of communication. Sometimes the unconscious communicates by movement. It may be that the eye reflex changes and the eyes flicker. That's right, or the head moves slightly, or a muscle twitches involuntarily. That's right, you can try and keep those eyes still, find they flicker even more. It may be that the left hand moves all by itself and starts to feel lighter and lighter, starts to drift up and lift up, or the right hand goes even higher. Only the unconscious mind knows which it will use, because your unconscious mind knows more about you than anyone else. So as you drift even deeper into hypnosis, I'd like your unconscious mind to search through all of the things in your life and pick one thing that you'd love to be free of. Something that no longer serves you, something that's been holding you back, something you want to be free of, or something that no longer suits you. And when the unconscious mind's made that choice, I'd like it to allow you to know by allowing an honest unconscious signal to occur. I don't know, it'll be the left hand, right hand, both hands that start to feel lighter as the eyes flicker and the body moves, but you'll know before I do as that movement begins. One thing you'd love to be free of, something that no longer suits you, something that was placed on you that was never yours in the first place. An irrational thought, an irrational fear, a doubt, a limitation. And when your unconscious mind, that's right, when your unconscious mind's made that choice, I'd like it to increase those signals so you and I understand. And as you become aware of certain sensations, the mind automatically moves toward those thoughts and ideas, images that clarify most clearly for you, the very things you know and do that seem to get in the way. Awareness migrates toward those things that need attention in the same way animals migrate, without thinking, without trying. They just seem to know when to go, where to go, what to do to take care of themselves. An inner voice, an inner awareness that moves the birds, the animals from place to place, makes them restless, something not right, and draws their attention toward that uncomfortable feeling and sets them in motion. And they move hundreds of miles, thousands of miles, taking care of their young, taking care of themselves. No one knows how it feels to be an eagle or a dolphin or a lioness or a butterfly that suddenly knows the time is right for a change, that suddenly knows the exact change needed. But we can relax. Imagine how it might feel to gradually, suddenly recognize that feeling. Something needs to change. It needs to change now. And to know without knowing what needs to be done. To be told without hearing by that inner voice, do this now. And to have actions flow from those feelings, responding effortlessly and automatically to that inner voice that tells us what to do and when and how to do it. To be born with that knowledge, to trust that feeling, to be so comfortably aware of yourself that everything becomes easier. Though no one ever imagined that traveling 1,000 miles was easy. Even though the decision to go seemed to take no effort at all. Now I'd like your unconscious mind. Hand over those signals to that part of you that is responsible for that protective behavior, that's been keeping you safe and well from the moment you first drew breath, that's scanning the environment, looking after you. I'd like to ask you to hand that signal to that part of you that runs that protective mechanism. And when it's taken full control of those signals, I'd like it to increase those signals so you and I understand that it's taken control. That's right. And as you become aware of certain sensations, now I'd like to ask that part that runs that protective mechanism to explain to you what it's been doing for you for all these years. Why you've had those irrational fears and anxieties, what it's been trying to do for you, what its positive intention has been. And when you fully understand at some level of awareness what that part's been doing for you, I'd like it to allow that signal to occur so that you understand, that you know the reason that you've held yourself back, that you haven't let yourself go completely into those moments. Good. And now I'd like to ask that part to go to your creative mind, the part of you that dreams, that has ideas, that makes plans, and allow that wonderful creative mind to run, flow, work, come up with lots of new choices, ways of keeping you safe, well, and protected, but at the same time allowing you complete and utter freedom from every limiting belief that was ever placed on you. Every negative thought that ever held you back, every irrational fear and doubt that was never yours in the first place. I'd like it to allow those signals to occur so you understand that that part of you is making those choices for you. 10, 20, 100 new ways of keeping you safe and protected, but at the same time allowing you the freedom to be everything you want to be, to love, to create, to be, to evolve, Get a sense of that now as that part searches. And as that part searches, lots of new choices now. Once again, get a sense of just leaving your body in that chair. Get a sense of that feeling of freedom, the essence of who you are. Pure energy, pure intelligence, light and love. That's who you are. Get a sense of that now. Everything else drops away, and all that's left is who you truly are. Free of all earthly ties, free to be. Go out there into the future. Think of something you'd love to do, way you'd love to feel. Let go of every negative, limiting belief. Let it go. The things that you dream of, the things that you want, how you want to feel. Let go of everything else and know it's okay to want those things and see yourself achieving it. See yourself doing it. Step into that body, feel into it, get a sense of it. Because your unconscious mind wants you to be happy. It wants you to be well. It needs a very clear direction. Let go of everything else. Let go of every negative, limiting belief. Let it go now. And see yourself there achieving it. How incredible are you? You are the most incredible creation. You were born to be happy. You were born to enjoy. Get a sense of it. And look back to now. And notice all the things you did along the way that led to that feeling of freedom and joy. Happiness, pleasure. Get a sense of it now. And as you drift in that space, I want your unconscious mind to make those changes. Imagine it's happening and there's nothing you can do about it. Every irrational fear gone, every limitation gone, replaced by a new energy, a feeling of freedom, a lightness of being. How incredible are you? You are love, and you are loved, and you are loving. And the essence of who you are is pure energy, pure intelligence, light and love. Anything that's not that's not you. And there's no way back. Now you understand who you truly are. There is no way back to any other thinking. Feel that feeling now. And as you drift in that space, I'd like that part that runs that protective mechanism to pick one of the new choices, the one that it believes will keep you safe and well, but allow you the freedom to be free of every irrational fear and doubt, free of every limiting belief that was ever placed on you. When it's made that choice, I want it to increase those signals so you and I understand that it's made that choice. That's right. Body moving, eyes flickering, sensations growing. And now I'd like to ask that part to integrate this new choice into your body and mind at a molecular, cellular, neurological level. And when it's done it completely, I want it to increase those signals so you understand that those changes have taken place and there is no way back. That's right. And as you become aware of those sensations, as those changes take place in your body and mind, a lightness of being. In your mind's eye, get a sense of me behind you, burning every bridge to the past. There is only this moment left. A feeling of being in this moment. to just be, to know it's okay to be. It's easy to forget. We put our keys down, we forget where we put them sometimes. It's easy to forget. I don't know whether it'll be a minute from now or an hour from now, or maybe 30 years from now, when you suddenly realize that you are thinking of something else entirely. And every limiting belief, every negative thought, every irrational fear disappeared right here, right now, replaced by a feeling of unconditional self love. The harder you try to remember what it felt like to doubt yourself, the stronger that feeling of unconditional self love and belief become. Imagine that's happened, and there's nothing you can do about that. Even at first, you have to pretend it was something that was said to you, something that was done to you. You really just cannot experience those doubts and fears anymore. Imagine that's happened. There's nothing you can do about that. The harder you try to remember what it felt like, the further away those doubts go, replaced by that feeling of freedom, that feeling of unconditional self-love. How much fun can you make it? How sweet this life is. How incredible are you? And go over it with your unconscious often as you need to know that you're free. Glance back, see those bridges burning, see that smile on my face. I burn those bridges behind you. Get a sense of that now. There is no way back. How incredible can you make your future? How much fun do you want to have? Get a sense of that. It may be interesting to know that in that relaxed, drifting state of mind, where thoughts drift by like dreams, some enter the mind, some drift through the mind. Some are left behind to be used later on, but others are remembered, or seem to be remembered at first, then become more and more distant, forgotten over time. This entire experience may seem so far away, like a dream you had, as the unconscious mind protects the conscious mind, leaves those things behind, forgotten, but remembered too. And time changes too, so you'll know what a trance it's been when you begin to know what seemed to be a short time turned out to be a long time, or what seemed a long time was really no time at all. And so as you drift in that beautiful space, just you and the sound of my voice and that feeling of unconditional self-love, know it's okay to love yourself. Just for a moment, look back at that body in that chair and show it some appreciation. How incredible is your body? How incredible is your body? Make a decision to be kind to that body, to look after that body, because it's worth it. You are the most incredible, incredible creation. In a moment, I'm going to count to 10. Every suggestion I've given you, your mind and body will act upon. On 8, your eyes will open. You will feel incredible because you are incredible. And on 10, that feeling of freedom, that new understanding, that lightness of being, that feeling of unconditional self-love is going to grow stronger day by day. As we head into this new year, free of the past, free to be. How much fun can you make it? How much fun can you have? So get ready as I count to 10. Every limitation's gone, replaced by that feeling of freedom. One, being absolutely wonderful. Two, to create that life you want, do it fearlessly. Three, a feeling of freedom from every limiting belief that ever held you back. Four, feel the force of that energy and unconditional self love flooding through your body and mind, filling you up, lighting you up. Five, feeling incredibly alive now. Six, seven, eight, eyes opening, feeling absolutely wonderful. Nine, 10. We're all ready for 2025. Good. Excellent. I hope you enjoyed the experience today. Good. You back, Nick?
I'm back.
Good man. Good. Well, look, thanks for coming in today. We'll just wait a little bit longer because Diana's still in the land of magic. She'll be back in a minute, I'm sure. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Lovely to see you, Samantha. You looked a bit like stunned a minute ago. What was it? You realised how long you've been here, or what was it?
The sound stopped working, and I I guess it was connected to my Bluetooth. So I was like, wait, what happened? Is he still talking? And I saw your lips moving. So that's what was happening. I was like,
Yeah.
is this intentional or what? But the words that you were saying today, they I know they were the same words that you've said in the past, but they felt different for me today. Like they resonated a lot more.
Good.
They sunk in.
Good. Well, I've only got so many words. I'm fairly limited. I'm glad you saw my lips moving.
Yeah, me too.
I know I've heard it said that you know when a man's lying because his lips are moving. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I have heard that said. But look, it's great to see you all here. Great to see you, Veronica, Linda. Yeah, and I do wish you all the best for this year. But let me just, it's Sarah's. She's kind of flipped out. She's come back in. So I'll find her. There she is. She's back. Hi, Sarah. You're back. So I'm just wishing everybody, all the best for this new year. Um, let's see how what we can create. Let's see what we can do. Think of something you'd love to do, and just say, "Okay, I'm going to do that." And it's so easy to think it and then not do it. And another year's gone. Another year's gone. Let's not do that. Let's make sure that, like we said last week, it's small things. It's like saying, "I'm going to do it." Make a commitment and doing something every day towards where you want to be. Um, it, and we'll get where we want to go. So, are there any questions before we say goodbye to you? No? Lion,
Freddie, I
you
want
enjoy?
to chime in real quick. So I was with my parents for New Year's, and I was hanging out with my dad, and we were talking about. I kind of showed him the goal setting process I'm going to take all of you through, and he said, when I was younger, I went to this seminar and wrote down a bunch of goals, and years later, I found it, and I realized that I'd accomplished all of them, and I'd forgot about them. And I had a similar experience, well, several times with the event that I did. One of the participants, when I was in Mexico with Allison and Caitlin, who are on the call, he had reached out to me 9 months or a year later, and he said, all the goals I set at Resonance, I had accomplished. Like, they're all done. He's like, I didn't realize it until I picked up my notebook. And so I want you all to prepare to take these goals because they're going to be similar things we've done, and we're going to plan, we're going to put them in your mind, and you are going to take action on very specific things that you're going to come up with over the next few weeks to make this an incredible year and to feel incredible and to accomplish things and to feel fulfillment. So that's what's ahead for the next 2 weeks. And when we do the project planning guide, if you come prepared with a few of your projects in mind, I will help coach a few of you through anywhere you get hung up or anywhere you get stuck on this project planning. We'll put very clear language on your goals and your action items so your subconscious mind gets it, and so you can delegate it to others in a way that their subconscious mind understands. So that's what's coming ahead for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be, we're going to have a great time, and it's awesome to see all of you, and I'm excited for this year.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Samantha. She's found the emoji buttons somewhere. She's doing everything. Hearts,
You
thumbs
know,
up.
they're so fun. I like them.
So anyway, okay, and it is important to write down what we want. We might not be thinking it at the time, but like Nick was saying about his dad, once we've written them down, they're in the back of our mind, and we can put that bit of paper anywhere. And I think I was saying to you the other day there was this, and whether this is true, whether it's become a myth, I don't know. But I think it was 1953. These psychologists went into Harvard University and they asked the graduating students that year how many had written down their life goals. And only 3% of those students had actually written down their life goals. But they followed that survey up 20 years later, and the 3% that had written down their life goals had earn more financially than the other 97% put together. So they know that something happens to we're rewiring our brain when we're actually writing things down. So it's worth writing those things down. If you have an idea, write it down. And the other thing is to take action on any ideas you have. Most of us, at some point in our life, we all have a great idea. Gwyn will know this, I'm sure, but there's a saying, I think it says, there's a time and tide in every man's life when taking its height leads on to greatness. But it's so many have let that wave go past and we don't get up on our board and get going on it, and it's gone and we might not see that wave again. So if you have an idea, don't think, well, no one will be interested. Maybe share it with someone that cares about you, that's knows, wants the best for you. But write those things down and act upon it, because we've all got a genius in us. Most of us let other people talk us out of that. So think about that over this next week, so that when we get here on the 9th, it's the 9th, isn't it, Nick?
Yes, the 9th. Yep.
9th. When we get here on the 9th, you're ready to achieve what you want to achieve.
Freddie, this analogy just came to me. It's like if you get on a treadmill and you don't really know how long you're going to go, you get on there until you want to get off, which might be 5 minutes, it might be 10 minutes. But if you get on the treadmill and you say, okay, I'm going to run 3 miles or 5 miles or a half an hour, and you set a clear goal, often you will push past the point, or probably always, you will push past the point where you would have stopped if you didn't have a clear goal. And so it's like before we get on this treadmill of 2025, we want to decide what our outcome is so that we can push to it and we can accomplish it, because oftentimes people stop or they quit just because they don't have a clear end goal. And so anyway, we'll get clear on that. And I think Sarah had her hand up. Did she disappear on us?
There is a nice little exercise we'll run with all of you right now if you fancy it. And if you're ever working with people in setting goals, this is a really nice thing to do. I want you all to just put your arms out in front of you like this, if you can. Might be difficult if you're sitting in a bed, but you can do it. And I want you just to go around as far as you can, twist around as far as you can, and then wherever you stop, kind of mark that on the wall somewhere. Okay, just mark it so you know where you've gone. You all done that? Come back to where you are. All right, okay, put your hands down. Done that? All right, Nick, come back. Put your hands down. Now close your eyes. Now just imagine doing that again, but this time when you imagine it, picture your hands going a lot further than they were before. Just get that sense in your mind. Done it? Okay, now open your eyes. Put your arms out in front of you. Now go around as far as you can and see what happens. And notice how much further you go. Did you all get that? Did it happen for you? I know Samantha's got a swivel chair. That's cheating. But, that's what happens. But if you can picture it in your mind, your body just carries it out. So when it comes to setting our goals, think as far as think about your goal, but then think about going even further than that, and you'll find your brain will carry it out for you. Sorry, Samantha, you wanted no, Sarah wanted to ask a question, didn't you?
Yeah, not a question. So I just wanted to kind of add, I used to teach mindful writing classes. I co-ran a wellness program. And one of the things that was really important, because we all have phones, is we tend to kind of just put notes on our phone. I'm guilty of that. I think I have 1,000. But there's a science. They've done studies with pen to paper or pencil to paper. And it changes something in the brain, like you said. So,
Yeah.
so it's really important to actually write it down old school rather than just put something on your phone and set it aside. That's all.
Yeah, when you're writing, when you actually got pen to paper, a pencil to paper, you're creating new neural pathways towards achieving it, what you're writing down. So it's important. It's also important to write it down in the positive. So I will achieve this. I will do that. You know, so
Yeah,
we're going to get into it, but it's going to be good.
we'll do that next week. One other thing to consider there, Sarah, is graphotherapy. We may have to do a call on graphology and maybe have Dakota help us out with some of that. But I'm always, when I'm journaling or writing, it's always in cursive, and I'm always very intentional about bringing my loops back up and crossing my T's and dotting. Like, I'm doing everything in a very certain way because, you know, think about it. People that are confident, they tend to cross their T's in a certain way. People that lack confidence, they tend to do it in a different way. And so if you can be intentional with your writing, those traits will show up in your writing. I used to have a nasty trait of, well, I don't know if it's nasty, but I used to, at the end of my sentences, I would loop it back onto the word. And that's a sign of someone who likes to draw attention to themselves. And so, and I've seen this in other people, and it's so true. And so I just took that out of my writing, and I think I've gotten much better about trying to draw attention to myself. Some of you may disagree, but graphotherapy is definitely a thing, and we may do a call on that as well. So I second your sentiments about writing things out, Sarah.
Cool.
Great stuff. All right. Is there anything else before we go? No. Okay. Lovely to see you all then, and I'll see you next week. We'll have a couple of hours together next week, so if I can stay awake, but I'll try.
What,
All right.
what are the hours for next week?
It starts at the same time, doesn't it, Nick?
It starts at the same time, and we'll go as long as we need to.
So
probably maybe 2 hours.
For us
2
in Europe,
hours?
I mean, for Jasmine, that's going to be quite late. You know, I know she's, but you know,
I need to catch up you to sleep then, but yeah.
She's only allowed out, and my carers come in after 10 o'clock at night. They come and take me back to the home. So I don't know, I'll be here for the whole 2 hours, but they might give me a pass. Who knows? All right. Anyway, it's lovely to see you.
Next week, guys, real quick, what were we supposed to do to prepare? I missed that.
I'll have a PDF workbook out in the next few days, hopefully, so you can print that and bring that. Otherwise, I was going to sell, like, for people who weren't subscribers, I was going to sell it for like $25 or something so they could jump on as well. But I may let you guys all bring a guest or two if you want. I don't know. I just had that idea. Would that be nice? Would you guys want to bring a business partner or someone to be part of that? Okay.
Maybe.
I'll figure that out, and we'll figure out links.
I'll
What's that?
decide later.
But, you
I
know,
said maybe.
Maybe, okay.
You know the rule in this group. If you're going to bring a partner along, they have to look good. We don't only kind of, you know.
I know they must look good. That
Got to
is
look good. Otherwise, don't bring them.
No ugly partners.
Nicholas, will the PDF be online, or are you going to email it to us? It's Gwen.
It'll be both. I'll have it in I'm going to do a separate module in the courses for this with the PDF workbook, and I'll email you the link as well.
Okay, super.
To prepare. Yeah.
All right. Have a lovely week. And Nolene, you look very glamorous this morning, considering it must be about 7 o'clock in the morning for you there. I thought we were going out on a date or something. You got your pearls on. You're looking excellent. So yeah, very nice.
I've got a day of clients.
Oh, have you? All right. Okay. Well, lucky then. All right. Okay. See you later.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Everyone. Happy New
Bye,
Year.
Lynn. Bye, Patty. See you, Dakota.
Bye.
Happy New
Bye,
Year.
Diana.
Everybody.
Bye,
Enjoy.
Veronica.
Thanks.
Bye.
Check your text.
Bye-bye.
Glad
Bye,
you
Freddie,
got this,
check your
Diana.
texts.
Take care.
Freddie, check your texts.
Bye, Martin.
I will do. Thanks.
See you,
Thanks.
Doreen.
See ya.